What's up YouTube, this is Joe from Z4 Games and I'm bringing to you guys a 100% pure Blackwing deck. Yes, this is literally every monster in this deck is Blackwing, everything in the extra deck is Blackwing. I do it because I built it because I personally like Blackwings like this. I love to play Blackwings 100% pure. I feel like I get the most enjoyment out of playing Blackwings that way. If you do want to see a more competitive variant on Blackwings, I'm not sure if I'd be profiling it, probably be like Donald or something like that. So that I've got all the cards for more competitive variant. Do post that down below and we'll try and get that to you at some point down the line. But this is personally what I'd be building to play Blackwings once Legendary Duelist Season 2 drops in the coming days, because all the new support gets reprinted in there, and support that I have to proxy because I'm poor and I can't get it beforehand because they were too expensive for what they are. But obviously, before I get into it, if you enjoy this, give us a like and subscribe down below. Ding that notification bell, because obviously if you enjoy post content here on YouTube, you don't want to miss out on that content, and that notification bell helps prevent that. All of it is great appreciated, and we thank you guys so much for doing so. So, with all that said and done, let's get into this 100% pure Blackwing deck. So, I'm literally just missing one copy of Blackwing Simoon the Poisonous Wind. Arguably, you could play 2 copies, but it's so much better with 3, just because this card gets you to your Black Whirlwind, which is like the heart and soul of all your searching in the deck, and just facilitates so many combos. So if you don't know what this card does, he's a level 6 Blackwing with 16 attack and 2000 defense. If you control no monsters and have this card in your hand, you can banish one other Blackwing monster from your hand, place one Black Whirlwind from your deck face up in your spell check zone, then either send this card to the graveyard or immediately after this effect resolves, normal summon it without tributing. You cannot special summon monsters from the extract for the rest of this turn except dark monsters. You can only use this effect of Blackwing Simoon the Poisonous Wind once per turn. During the end phase, send the Black Whirlwind placed by this effect to the graveyard, and if you do, take 1000 points of damage. Obviously, you're going to summon this card because then he too is out essentially all your tuners and all of your extenders in this deck that isn't higher than 1600 and really starts to get the deck going. So you really want to open this card purely because by opening this, you've got access to Black Whirlwind. But again, as I said, you could play 2 copies if you want to, and then put extra non-Blackwing cards in this deck if you want to go down there. So it's completely up to you, but then also bear in mind, you are locked into dark monsters. So we are also playing 3 copies of Chris the Cracker Dawn. He is your highest attack Blackwing at 1900. So he can essentially search everything in this deck and combo with Black Whirlwind. So what this card does is that if you control Blackwing other than Chris, you can special summon this card from your hand. You can use this effect. You can only special summon Chris once per turn this way, and once per turn, this card cannot be destroyed by spells and traps. So 3 extender triggers off your Black Whirlwind and then gets you more cards, like Ball with a Spear, which if you control Blackwing other than Ball with a Spear, you can special summon this card from your hand. Again, another 3 extender to go into your synchro plays. And then I'm only playing 1 Shura the Blue Flame. Like, he's not as good as he used to be. Like, when Blackwings first debuted, this card was phenomenal, but he's just outclassed now due to like Chris and your Poison, your Simoon. So I'm playing the 1 copy just for the Blackwing name in the deck, and because I really like it. So I'm playing the 1 copy, but you don't have to play it at all. If you don't know what he does, he's a battle searcher. So when this card destroys a opponent's monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, you can special summon 1 Blackwing with 1500 less attack from your deck. That monster's effect is negated. So again, It is a searcher, it's a battle searcher though, so that's the only problem. And I'm playing one copy of Tornado, the Reverse Wind. I do like this card, it's actually pretty cool tech in the pure variant. So it's 1000 attack level 4. When this card is normal summoned while your opponent controls a monster special summon monster, you can target one Blackwing tuner in your graveyard. You cannot special summon monsters for the extra deck for the rest of the turn except Blackwing monsters and special summon that monster, but its effects are negated. So it's kind of like the non-tuner version of Blizzard the Far North, which is very, very cool. So I'm only taking it as a one-of. Again, you can just search it out from the deck if you need it. One copy of Blackwing Zephyros the Elite. He's strangely enough not as good in the Blackwing deck, I feel like, as opposed to like everything else. It's mostly in the pure variant, or the synchro variant, which is this variant. But yeah, we all know what Zephyros does. Bounce a card to hand, take a 400 damage, and special summon this card. You use it once per duel. Then I'm playing one copy of Vayu, the Emperor of Honor. So it's a level 1 tuner with 800 attack. So if this card is placed up in the field, you cannot use it for synchro material. You cannot use it for synchro. If this card is placed up in the field, you cannot use it for a synchro summon. If this card is in your graveyard, you can remove from play this card plus one non-tuner Blackwing monster in your graveyard and special summon Blackwing synchro from your extract, whose levels equal the total levels of the removed monsters, but the effects of that synchro is negated. So it may sound a bit bad, but you can easily get this card into graveyard, which is pretty good. And it's essentially a miracle fusion from grave, which is pretty cool. So you get that synchro monster out and then you can start synchro climbing, which is the main purpose of that card. Then I'm playing two copies of Blackwing Harmattan the Dust. I do really like how versatile this card is for your synchro summons. So don't know what this card does. If you control a Blackwing monster other than Harmattan the Dust, you can just special summon this card from your hand. You can only special summon Harmattan the Dust once per turn this way. When this card is normal or special summon, you can target one other Blackwing monster you control. Increases level by the level of that monster. So it can really help you go into your higher level synchros, which is very, very handy. And that's why I like to play it as a 2-of. Then we're playing one Blizzard of the Far North. It's a normal summon it, get a Blackwing back from graveyard, synchro summon. Then we're playing two copies of Blackwing Uster the South Wind. So it is a level 4 tuner with 1300 attack. You cannot be special summoned. When this card is normal summoned, you can target one of your banished level 4 Blackwing monsters, special summon in defense position. You can banish this card from your graveyard to activate one of the following effects. Place black feather counters on a Blackwing dragon you control, equal to the number of cards your opponent controls. Place one wish counter on each face-up monster your opponent controls. Opponent controls that does not have one. So you're mostly going to use this for the wedge counter, because then you can start reducing your opponent's monsters to 0 and then also steal them as well. So you got versatility there, but you mostly also use it as a 1 tuner, normal summon, get something from your banish zone, and then you can go off for your synchro. Then we're playing two copies of Gale, the Whirlwind, just the classic old Blackwing tuner. Control Blackwing, summon it, and you can reduce the opponent's monster by half. I'm playing two copies of Orochi the Squall. I like my 2-copy tuner ratios, so I always then have a tuner when I need it. But it's a free summon level 1 tuner that you can then go into your synchro climb plays. And to round up the Blackwings, we're playing two copies of Kalut the Moon Shadow. I love how this card was on the ban list for so long, and it was just like, just take it off. It's just a Blackwing honest, and Blackwings aren't played anymore. It took forever for this card to come to free. I'm only playing 2 copies of it, just because you search it when you want it, and that's really about it. That's it for monsters. Moving on to spells. 3 copies of the Black Whirlwind. You want to see this card because this searches out everything in your deck. Then we're playing 3 copies of Allure of Darkness. Combos very well with our Astura of the South Wind, because you can banish a Blackwing and then get it back with that tuner. I'm playing 2 tech copies because this is a 100% pure Blackwing deck, as I said. So I'm playing 1 copy of Raptor Ring Strike. Yes, no one else plays this but me. But return a face-up Blackwing monster you control to the deck. Add 1 Blackwing monster from your deck to your hand. Combos very well with your 3 summoners, just because you can then summon back again and you can just search something else. It's very, very nice. I'm playing one copy of the Glowing Crossbow. I do really like this card. So, as just as a tech one-off. So, it's an equipped card, equipped only to a Blackwing monster. It gains 500 attack and defense. You can use each of the following effects of Glowing Crossbow once per turn. If the equipped monster destroys a opposed monster by battle, you can discard one random card from your opponent's hand. If this card is sent to the graveyard because the equipped monster was used for a synchro tool, you can add this card from the graveyard to your hand. So it just helps get cards out your opponent's hand, reducing their hand size, and then lowers their plays for comeback next turn. Bear in mind, they're going to have to face things like Full Armor Master and other powerful Blackwings that you have on the field. And then we have one copy of Monster Reborn to round up the spells. Moving on to traps, what I arguably say in the pure variant is like the best trap is Blackbird Close. This card is phenomenal. So, it is a counter trap that when a monster your opponent controls activates its effect, you can send one face-up Blackwing monster you control to the graveyard and negate the activation if you do destroy it. Then, you can special one Blackwinged Dragon from your extra deck. If you control a Blackwing Synchro or Blackwinged Dragon, you can activate this card from your hand. So it's a counter trap that they can't pop before you activate it, and you just have to send any Blackwing you control. Bear in mind, we have like so many Blackwings that just freely summon themselves. So you just need to leave one of them on the board, and then you essentially got a free hand negate for like a free hand trap from your hand. So, and it's just really good. Like, I really like this card. Bit underrated, and then you get a free monster out of it afterwards, which is very, very nice. And then we play 3 copies of Black Sonic. Also, what I like about it is you don't need to control the synchro to be able to activate. You just need to control a Blackwing monster. Which then, if you had like multiple copies of this in your hand, yeah, you can activate multiple of them, which is really nice. You can then use this from set one in the field, activate it, send that Blackwing you control to graveyard, summon the Blackwinged Dragon from the extract, which then makes the other one in your hand live, and then it just keeps going. But yeah, 2 copies of Black Sonic. I dropped this down to 2 just because it's a battle stopper, which is a bit like it's not as good as it used to be. So when an opponent's monster declares an attack on a Blackwing monster you control, banish all face-up attack position monster your opponent controls. If you control exactly 3 Blackwing monsters and no other monsters, you can activate this card from your hand. A lot of the Blackwing traps have that effect, which is very, very nice to be able to activate from hand. But yeah, it is a battle stopper, which is not as good. And then we're playing 2 copies of Delta Crow Anti-Reverse. So it is a normal trap that if you control a Blackwing monster, destroy all face-down spell trap cards your opponent controls. If you control exactly 3 Blackwing monsters, you can activate this card from your hand. So, if you're up against those back row decks, which currently I'm recording this video, we are in a back row heavy format. So, if you wanted to take like the skeleton of this and then obviously upgrade it to your own personal needs, Anti-Reverse is pretty good in the main deck. Moving on to the extra deck. This is all synchro, baby. Playing 2 copies of Sohaya the Rainstorm. I just really like this for the play that it can do if in forms of multiples. So it's a level 5 synchro, 1500 attack and 2000 defense. And it's generic. If this card is synchro summoned using a Blackwing monster's material, it's treated as a tuner while face up on the field. You can use each of the following effects of Rainstorm once per turn. When this card is synchro summoned, you can target one Assault Blackwing in your graveyard, special summon it. Bear in mind this is an Assault Blackwing. And then during the main phase, if this card is in your graveyard, because it was sent there this turn, you can match one other Assault Blackwing Rainstorm from your graveyard and special summon this card. So, just 2 is Blackwings back from your graveyard. Gets your Assault Blackwings back, like your Shura the Reiki. And it's just overall a very nice card to play as a 2-off. Playing 1 copy of Graham the Shining Star, another level 5 Blackwing. Another generic one, and must first be synchro summoned. When this card is synchro summoned, you can special summon 1 level 4 or lower non-tuner Blackwing from your hand, but its effects are negated. So it's just a nice extender that helps extend further. 2 copies of Nofong the Starlight, which is a level 6 Blackwing, whose effect is also generic. If this card is special summoned, inflict 800 points of damage to your opponent. Then one face-up monster opponent controls loses 800 attack and defense. You can use this effect of Nofang the Starlight once per turn, and then during your main phase you can normal summon Blackwing in addition to your normal summon or set. You can only gain this effect once per turn. One copy of Blackwing Armored Rangers for the style points there. One copy of Chidori the Rain Sprinkling, which is a level 7 Blackwing, also generic. If this card synchro summon using a Blackwing monster material, is treated as a tuner while this is an assault Blackwing as well, I bear that in mind. While it's face up in the field. This card gains 300 attack for each Blackwing monster in your graveyard. When this card is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you can target one winged beast synchro in your graveyard except Chidori, the Rain Sprinkling, and special summon it. So recurs back your Blackwings when it's killed. 2 copies of Blackwing Tamer Obsidian Hawk Joe. Yes, it's got my name on it, thus it's clearly the best. So it's the level 7 Blackwing. It's a warrior, which is actually really interesting. Yeah, it's the first warrior one. Didn't know about that. It takes a Blackwing tuner and a non-tuner Blackwing. You can target one level 5 or higher winged beast monster in your graveyard, special summon it during either player's turn. When your opponent activates a card or effect that targets only this card, or when your opponent targets this card for an attack, you can target one other Blackwing monster you control that would be an appropriate target. That attack or effect now targets that new target. You can use each effect of Tamer Obsidian Hawk Joe once per turn. So it helps you get materials back, which then helps you synchro climb. Basically, it's what we use it for. 1 Blackwing Armor Master because it's classic. 2 copies of Assault Blackwing Raikou the Rain Shower. I mostly remember its Japanese name, Shura the Raiki. It's a level 7 Blackwing, generic Assault Blackwing. So if this card is synchro summoned using a Blackwing tuner as material, it can be treated as a tuner. And then once per turn, you can target cards of opponent controls up to the number of other Blackwings you control and destroy. So it is a board wiper. You mostly summon this card a lot. 1 Black-Winged Dragon for our target for the Blackbird Close. And then 1 copy of Assault Blackwing Omara the Divine Thunder. So this guy is I believe a level 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, he's a 12 with 3,000 attack. Generic. Assault Blackwing. If this card is synchro summoned using a Blackwing monster material, it's treated as a tuner while it's face up in the field. Not that matters. Level 13s don't exist. Cannot be destroyed by card effects. You can target 1 Blackwing monster in your graveyard. This card's level becomes the level as that monster. You can only use this effect of Assault Blackwing Omara the Divine Thunder once per duel. If this card was synchro summoned using only synchro monsters, attacks this card using only synchro monsters attacks, which is okay. That's a weirdly worded there. So if this card synchro summoned using only synchro monsters, this card gains 3,000 attack during the damage step only. Which is fantastic. And then we have 1 Blackwing Full Armor Master. Yes, this is the proxy in the extra deck. But it is getting reprinted. So this card's a level 8, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, he's a level 10. It takes a Blackwing tuner and 1 more non-tuner, 3,000 attack and defense. Unaffected by other card effects. Each time a monster your opponent controls activates the effect, place 1 wedge counter on that opponent's monster, max 1. After the effect resolves once per turn, you can target one monster your opponent controls with a wedge counter. Take control of it once per turn. During the end phase, you can destroy all monsters on the field that have wedge counters. So he is a stealer. He puts wedge counters. He can't be killed very easily. He is like arguably he is your boss monster over the Divine Thunder, though you do have 2 pseudo big end game boss monsters. So that, guys, is the deck. I hope you enjoyed it. Sorry this took a long video, but I had to read a lot of it. It's the first Blackwing profile I've personally done, so I wanted to read through the cards and why I built it like this. It's just something that I personally enjoy. Again, playing Blackwings, I kind of like playing it in the Crow Hogan play style, which is just 100% pure synchro summoning. I'm not a fan of the XCs using the what is it, the Raid Raptor X-Seizes, and then going to Link plays and doing that kind of stuff. Like, to me, that's not Blackwings. Blackwings to me are always the 100% pure synchro summoning, that kind of thing. That's just personally how I play Blackwings and how I personally view them. How I've always wanted to play Blackwings. Took me a while to make this deck. It's pretty funny. But yes, so as always, guys. But if you do want to see that, we'll discuss it with the other channel members, and we'll see if we can get that personal XC's link spam kind of variant, competitive variant, if you want to see that. But you have to post that down in the comments below if you want to see that variant. So as always, guys, like, comment and subscribe. Till next time, as always, happy dueling.